This is Gangrel, the Vampire Warrior. You're fanging and banging and watching the Nation's Network. That's right. Want some? Get some? Bad enough? Take some. Again, you're fanging and banging and you're watching the Nation Network.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the WWE European Championship.
All right, good evening, wrestling fans, and welcome back to the Nation Network, where tonight the Royal Rumble takes place. Our opening contest will be for the European Championship, featuring the former champion Harley and the man who took that title from him several months ago, the King, Jerry Lawler. Joining me here in the broadcast booth, as always, Jesse the Body. And Jess, what do you think about the odds?
Well, I'll tell you something right now. This is the Royal Rumble. It's one of the big four, in my opinion, and I look forward to this one most of all because you never know what's going to happen. As far as the European Championship, I think for Harley Race, he's got to get it done tonight. Otherwise, that might be it.
Indeed, he and Lawler have battled back and forth some time now over this championship. Handsome Harley Race has given up the title of King after losing that match.
Well, I don't think it really affects him a whole lot to be the king or not to be the king. Handsome Harley Race is a former world heavyweight champion in his own right. He doesn't need another title, but what he does want to have is a big win over Jerry Lawler just to prove a point.
Well, of course, bigger paychecks go when you have the championship as well.
Absolutely. Don't think he doesn't want some extra money. I can assure you he does.
And here is the reigning European champion, Jerry the King Lawler. You know, a lot of fans still buzzing about the match coming up in a little while. That cell block slam match. We've never seen one before.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm looking forward to it right now. After what happened a few weeks ago with Danny Davis and the big boss man says, you know what? You want to play with me, I'll show you hard times. And right now, these two dudes are about to be taking a walk into an actual prison. And the only way you win is to get out.
Indeed, it's going to be an interesting scenario when these two guys step into the prison in the very near future here. We know that they're already on location. Camera crews are there to capture all of the action. Lawler putting the crown down for the moment, but I don't know if he's going to give up that championship title anytime soon.
Well, that's what they'll be fighting for right there, is a beautiful championship title. And right now, both men want it. Only one's going to get it.
From Kansas City, Missouri, weighing in at 253 pounds, the King of Wrestling, Harley Race. And his opponent from Memphis, Tennessee, weighing in at 235 pounds, he is the WWE European Champion, Jerry the King Lawler.
Now, this crowd perhaps a bit undecided in this one, as neither of these two men has really endeared themselves.
Well, I'll say this right now. There's been moments where Jerry Lawler has indeed been very much endeared by the fans. Not so much lately here, but I think if choosing between the two, they might be leaning a little bit more in his corner.
Want to send a shout out to everybody joining us here live for the Rumble as the bell sounds and this one takes off. Lawler, what a scoop up in the air now. Drops him head first in Harley Race. He took one heck of a shot right there.
Yeah, wasting no time whatsoever in getting this one, but now look at Harley Race. Running body slam on the King. Harley Race can take a beating like nobody I've ever seen before and just keep coming back for more. It's very, very hard to put Harley Race down and keep him there.
No doubt about it. Shout out to Retro Wrestling Network in the house. Juan Cordero joining us as well. Sean Allen, hello there, sir.
Yep, Freddie's here as well. You got Kevin Davis.
Harley Race on the top rope now, and off he comes with the axe handle to the head. That might have done some damage to the King. Irish whip, it is. Oh, he's been busted open.
Yeah, a lot of blood right now flowing over the right eye of Jerry Lawler. Referee's going to have to be aware of that. Sometimes you got to protect these guys from themselves.
Well, it would be the most unfortunate way to lose that championship title with a referee stoppage, but that would change hands on the championship, unlike a count out or disqualification. Referee stoppage, if it were to happen, and that's getting worse by the moment. You can see how much blood now is streaming down the face of Jerry Lawler. Big winding right hand, and down goes Harley Race.
And now Lawler up to the top rope, getting ready.
Big splash, and he goes right for the leg. Will that be an all through? And Harley gets that shoulder off the canvas.
Well, I'd have been a little surprised if that were enough to put him away this early in the match, but I've seen strange things happen.
Well, I can attest to the same. Oh, look at that headbutt. Nicely done. And he got the attention of Lawler, who bounced right back up. And it seems like it did more to enrage the current champion than it did to injure him.
I'm still looking at that cut over the right eye of Jerry Lawler, and it's really getting a little bit concerning to me. I think a referee needs to step in. Perhaps a doctor needs to come out and look at this one. It's getting pretty bad.
Oh, wait a minute. Lawler set him up with a pile driver. He hits. That might be the match. That could be all she wrote. We've got one. We got two. And Jerry, the King Lawler, puts away Harley Race and successfully defends the European Championship.
Well, I said it at the beginning. I'll say it again now. Harley Race really needed this win, and without it, I don't know how he continues on.
WWE European Champion, Jerry the King Lawler.
A bloody Jerry Lawler victorious here in our opening contest. Stick around, ladies and gentlemen. We are heading to prison.
Wrestling fans, if you're enjoying the content here on the Nation Network, we encourage you to check out Blazed Radio. Join Blaze for his unique take on E-Fed Wrestling.
Hey, Walker. There's a shotgun stunner, but long through the table at the same time.
From 2K to AEW Fight Forever, as well as talk show podcasts and NFL Red Zone coverage.
I love that I can listen to football commentary where the important conversations happen, like the rack on the ref.
As soon as we're finished here, jump over to Blaze Radio and tell him Vince sent you.
the prison, and here we go.
Well, this is going to be one that I'm very much looking forward to. I got to tell you, it's going to be interesting. The big boss man is used to being in this confine, but he's always been the prison guard. And right now, he's looking to hand out some tough justice right here to the former referee, Danny Davis.
Well, we all saw what happened a few weeks ago when Danny Davis really, I don't want to use the word, but he gave it to the big boss man in a match. Pulled out a victory as well. Boss man here looking to make sure that he rectifies the situation, brought him into his confine.
Yeah, I'm not sure how fair this is either. I feel like he's got a real home field advantage. Danny Davis, to the best of my knowledge, he's never been inside of a prison before, so how's he supposed to know?
Well, if anything goes in this one, no doubt about it. And look at this Russian leg sweep. Nicely done. And Danny Davis hammering away on the big boss man.
Well, the big boss man has to realize that Danny Davis is fighting for his life in there, and he's going to pull out every trick in the book.
Just ramming into the steel bars. These prison cells are made to keep people in. And I can assure you that there is going to be no give in this structure whatsoever. Davis goes on the cover. He gets one. Almost got him.
Well, I can tell you firsthand, I've been in plenty of steel cage matches in the past. There's at least a little bit of a flex to the steel cage when you get run into it. These are wrought iron bars, and there will be absolutely no give, no bend whatsoever. You hit these things, and you are going to know it.
This battle continues. And now they have made their way over to the recreation area. A big boss man teeing off on Danny Davis.
I don't know how much more Danny's going to be able to take, because right now he's in a lot of trouble.
They tie up once again. You see that workout apparatus back there. Steel also is bolted down so that it can't be used as a weapon.
Yeah, I also see a few single blocks over there on the side. We've got tables, we've got chairs. There's a lot of things there that could turn out to be a factor in the outcome of this match.
Danny Davis celebrating a little too soon. And the big boss man just rolls him over with that butterfly suplex. What's he got in mind here? Boss man has him up, lands on the concrete. You want to talk about an area that has no give to it. And Danny Davis is in a very precarious position right now.
Well, this is where things could get ugly fast. Danny Davis is up and down that. He does not want to be here.
Oh, he calls on that table, and these do not give way.
That's what I was telling you. This is designed to take a beating, and that's exactly what's happening right now.
Another power bomb on the table, and Danny Davis is in a lot of trouble. You can only imagine how the back of Danny Davis must be feeling right now. Danny Davis fighting his way back. Got a big knee lift, taking the boss man down.
Well, Danny Davis right now is trying to wrestle the boss man, and I understand why he's doing it, but I can tell you right now, he's going to have to figure out how to fight him. He's going to have to think prison rules, and if he's never been in there before, this is what I was saying earlier, the boss man, he's got a whole field advantage. He knows all about this sort of thing.
Danny Davis putting a kick to the head of the big boss man. And now the boss man, teeing off, and down goes Danny. He's got him up. Oh, spine buster on the cement floor.
That is going to reverberate right through the entire body. And now look at this column.
Small package. And the boss man kicking out. Well, whatever you may think of Danny Davis, you cannot sell him short because at any point in time, he could come up with a shocker. And now it's the boss man with that DDT.
Taking a page out of the book of Jake the Snake Robinson's Big Boss Man.
Danny Davis continues to battle. And once again, celebrating perhaps just a little too soon, Danny Davis. Big right hand, and now the boss man down.
They're very close to those cinder blocks. You got to be very careful.
Now the big boss man from behind. Oh, he just struck him. Head first, and he just followed it up on the cinder block.
Yeah, if he's not careful, he's going to put him out permanently. Look at this.
Here's 300 pounds down across the head of Danny Davis while his head is on a cinder block.
Give me a break.
The boss man waiting for the moment. There's a scoop and a slam. And Davis rolls him up. I can't believe it.
He might pull it off right here.
The boss man able to escape. Danny Davis literally fighting for his life. How he even back up on his feet after what happened to him.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've seen a lot of stuff in professional wrestling, but I've never seen anything like this before.
Danny Davis now fighting back. He knows there's no way of getting away from the big boss man. They are in the cage. They are not leaving until this is settled. Oh, that's it. He has put him out. The big boss man victorious.
Tremendous win right there for the big boss man, and I'm not sure if we'll ever see Danny Davis again.
When we come back, the Royal Rumble.
Wrestling fans, right after this program is done, enter the danger zone. Jump over and check out J-Rock 73. Tell him Vince sent you.
The following is the Royal Rumble match. Now, the two superstars that drew number 1 and number 2 will start the ring at the same time. Other superstars will join in the order they drew. This will continue until all 30 superstars have entered the ring. Eliminations occur when you are thrown over the top rope with both feet landing on the floor. The last superstar in the ring will be declared the Royal Rumble winner and will go on to face the champion of their choice at WrestleMania!
All right, ready to kick off the Royal Rumble. Legends Edition here on the Nation Network. We remind everyone, stick around as soon as this one's over.
Introducing the participants. First, from
Oh, take a look at who's your number 1.
weighing in at 262 pounds, S.D. Jones.
Well, I wouldn't have liked his odds on winning if he came in at number 30, but at number 1, not a chance.
Well, everyone has a chance, but I've got to admit, it doesn't look good for SD Jones, drawing the number 1, the least enviable spot of all. Once again, welcome everybody watching us here live on the Nation Network. It's prime time in the house along with Judd, 3300. Big JH is here.
Shout out to J-Rocks as well.
Oh, the Boogeyman drawing number 2, and that's not good news for SD Jones.
Well, I'd say this, based on his win-loss record, I don't know that there's anybody else that could have come out number 2 that would have been good news.
Introducing the individual who drew number 2 from the bottomless pits, weighing in at 260 pounds, the
Oh, this man is just a little bit different, to say the least. SD Jones gonna have a tough going here early on.
Well, there's a lot I can say about this guy. One of them is that he's very unpredictable. That might be the only thing about him that is predictable. It's that he's unpredictable. You just don't know what he's likely to do.
Well, once again, fans, the only way to be eliminated from this match, you must go over the top rope and both feet must hit the floor. Good Lord, this man is psychotic.
Shout out to CSWA Productions in the house. Welcome aboard, and here we go.
SD early on getting taken down by the Boogeyman, and down the Boogeyman returns the favor. Went for the splash, and SD brings up the knees. Number 3 is Gangrel. We heard from him at the start of the program. Drawing number 3, not an enviable. I would say anything less than 20 is probably not going to be a strong showing, I would think. Oh, Gangrel eliminated almost immediately.
Well, yeah, it didn't take long at all, did it?
And now SD Jones looking to put out the Boogeyman.
Oh, take a look who's coming in. Doink the Clown, he and the Boogeyman have been teamed up in the past year or so. We'll find out if any of that remains. Nope, never mind. You have no friends in the Royal Rumble, but sometimes partners will work together.
Well, it would behoove him, but look at SD from behind. It's going to be crazy, ladies and gentlemen. We know that. As they drop him straight down. At number 5, the Brooklyn Brawler.
At this point in time, it almost seems more like a gimmick battle royal.
From behind with a neck breaker, the Boogeyman trying to take advantage. The Brawler and Doink going at it. One of the great things about the Royal Rumble, you'll see some mini matches here. Many cases there are dream matches, matches you might not see otherwise. SD just got taken out. Here comes Nasty Boy, Brian Knobs. Drop kick by Doink, nicely done, and down goes Knobs.
I would think this is the type of match that would definitely favor somebody like Brian Knobs, somebody who's used to having backyard, back alley street fights. He's very comfortable in this environment. And there's a double team on SD Jones.
And it appears that S.D. Jones may be bleeding. He is. Been busted open. And it is Vader time.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I don't think I like anybody's chance that's currently in the ring now. Vader is one of the top picks, in my opinion, in general. There goes ST right over the top and out to the floor.
Doink the Clown laughing at him. And pays the price. And now look at Vader taking advantage of the brawler. It's Barry Windham.
Barry Windham, we haven't seen him in a while.
Formerly one half of the WWF Tag Team Champions, along with Mike Rotundo. Barry Windham from Sweetwater, Texas. Near 7 foot tall. There goes the brawler.
Has been eliminated.
It is chaotic by design. Trying to keep up with all the action is not easy. Who's going to be next? Oh, Big Daddy Cool Diesel.
Now, we talked earlier about the potential for dream matches. How about this? Big Daddy Cool Diesel against Vader, and that's what I wanted to see. And look at it right away. They go after one another.
Barry Windham. Boy, I'll tell you what, seeing Windham and Rotundo go against the Nasty Boys, that would be a match.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that one.
Doink from behind, and Vader just dropping the boogeyman, and it's the British Bulldog. Talk about a powerhouse.
Davey Boy Smith really put together very well. Doesn't miss any days in the gym, that's for sure. But look over here. Big Daddy Cool Diesel trying to eliminate Vader, and that's going to be interesting.
Vader with a big elbow upside the head to get out of trouble. At number 11, Cactus Jack, the hardcore icon.
Well, he's another one, and look at him going after the only other guy in the match crazier than him.
And now he goes after Barry Windham, but finds himself in the clutches of Big Daddy Cool. Vader almost threw the boogeyman over the top rope.
Yeah, he had him up in that suplex attempt, and I thought he was going to go over with him.
And now Knobs in trouble, but the save was made by Diesel. Cactus Jack on the apron. That's not where you want to be.
Keep an eye on the boogeyman trying to eliminate Barry Windham.
Has him up, and now look out. Cactus Jack might be getting eliminated by Doink the Clown. He holds on to the bottom rope.
Yeah, he still hasn't made it all the way to the floor, so he's not eliminated yet.
The power of the British Bulldog on display. Dropping Diesel head first. And now up against the ropes. Barry Windham looking to eliminate Cactus Jack. Puts him over, but again can't get him to the floor. The Bulldog, same thing. Hanging on to the bottom rope, but Nasty Boy. Knobs has got him.
Almost, but not quite. And look at Barry Windham was about to eliminate Cactus Jack, but he came up with a real nice counter.
There goes Doink the Clown, courtesy of Vader. And now the British Bulldog with Knobs. Oh, wait a minute. Big Daddy Cool gonna go with a jackknife. And Wyndham with a pair of clotheslines. Big Daddy Cool to the ropes, and now Knobs tied up from behind. Face first body slam. Knobs over the top and out to the floor. He's eliminated courtesy of Big Daddy Cool.
What a move right there by Barry Windham. Nicely done. Butterflied him, got him up in the air, and then dropped Big Daddy Cool Diesel right on his head.
Cactus Jack going at it with the man who took an ear from him back in Japan many years ago.
Yeah, I don't care how many years has gone by. When somebody removes your ear, you never really forgive and forget, do you?
Mr. Perfect, will it be a perfect Royal Rumble?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if anyone's going to go from this point to the end. There goes Diesel.
Barry Windham eliminating Big Daddy Cool. Cactus Jack with a DDT, and Barry Windham looks like he is bleeding. I would imagine nobody could be the same after a match like this. There goes the Boogeyman, courtesy of Vader.
Well, to your point, no, you're not going to be the same. This is a match that will shorten careers.
The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and immediately picked up by Mr. Perfect. Dusty Rhodes and Barry Windham, longtime friends. You have to wonder if they would still be working together in a match like this, at least for a period of time.
Well, there's no friends in this. That's all there is to it. Shout out to Tom Hood joining us here live for the Nation Network.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan, ho! Barry Windham sending Duggan over the top rope. Oh my goodness! Dusty Rhodes way up in the air and over.
Well, Duggan didn't even last 10 seconds. Thanks for coming.
I'll tell you, at this point, I believe the British Bulldog perhaps has been in the ring the longest. And here comes the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Couldn't buy his way to number 30 this year.
Well, I don't think he needs to worry about it.
From behind, DiBiase attacking Cactus Jack, and now turns his attention to Barry Windham. And now Windham has got Mr. Perfect back elbow. Oh, take a look at this Latino heat.
It may be winter outside, but it just turned up the heat right here at the Royal Rumble as Eddie Guerrero goes right to work.
DiBiase eliminated by Vader. And Barry Windham with that superplex.
We've got bodies flying everywhere. Ted DiBiase didn't last very long. There goes Barry Windham, courtesy of Vader.
Oh, my goodness.
Whoa. Well, this is going to change everybody's game plan as far as I'm concerned.
Andre attacking the next biggest man of the match, Vader. And look at Eddie Guerrero going to work on the 8th wonder of the world. He is the king of the Battle Royal. Will he be the king of the Royal Rumble? Eddie Guerrero now with Vader up against the ropes. Clothesline, Vader's been eliminated.
Well, he lasted quite a while. Look at this, King Kong Bundy in there now. Suddenly Andre the Giant's got somebody that can go toe-to-toe with him.
They turn around and they lock up, and Andre wasting no time at all going after Big Bundy.
Can you imagine if those two dudes decided to work together for a little while? They would clear the ring in no time at all.
Eddie Guerrero is in trouble. Andre the Giant almost eliminated. And now the Hurricane entering the fracas. Suplex nicely done. And look at Bundy with a big gutbuster now. Cactus Jack trying to get a rear waistlock. You're not going to do that.
Yeah, he'd need arms about 13 inches longer in order to pull that one off.
Bam Bam Bigelow. Number 20, and now we are getting to the meat of the order. Andre the Giant down in the corner. Now Bam Bam Bigelow and Mr. Perfect. Look at this.
Eddie Guerrero tried to get Bundy over, but look at the size of Bundy's leg. It's almost as big as Eddie Guerrero completely.
Cactus Jack now attacking King Kong Bundy. Took advantage of that momentary distraction. Now trying to put him over the top. It's going to be a lot to get 440 pounds up. And now Bundy doing a number on Cactus Jack, and Andre the Giant is targeted. Bam Bam Bigelow now turns his attention to Eddie Guerrero.
Well, we got some of the big heavy hitters in this thing right now, and it's only a matter of time, in my opinion, before a couple of guys get smart enough to double team on them, because that's what they've got to do, double and even triple team.
Andre the Giant walking over people to try and get to King Kong Bundy.
I don't know why everybody else is interfering with that. Let the two big guys go at one another. At the end of the day, one's left standing, and there goes Cactus Jack.
Cactus Jack taken out by Andre the Giant. Now he's got the Hurricane. Irish whip to the rope, and Hurricane going over. Andre couldn't finish him off.
Lucky for the Hurricane is that Mr. Perfect kind of got in the way there, and Andre couldn't get to him in time.
Hurricane with a nice reversal. Oh, he just took Andre down.
Well, while that's impressive to watch, it doesn't help the cause any, because if Andre's down, you're not going to get 500 pounds of dead weight up and over that top rope, especially if you're the Hurricane.
Eddie Guerrero and the Bulldog battling it out in the corner as we get ready for the next entrant here in the Royal Rumble. Wade Barrett, number 21, the leader of the Nexus.
Since returning here to the Nation Network, Wade Barrett has really been impressive.
Bundy and Andre once again connecting with one another.
You know, personally, I'd like to see everybody out of this match except for Bundy and Andre. I'd like to see those two settle it once and for all.
Some 30 years ago, King Kong Bundy breaking the sternum of Andre the Giant in Toronto. Over the top rope goes the British Bulldog. And he manages to hang on. Bulldog sending Andre to the ropes. Oh, there goes Eddie Guerrero, but I believe he still hangs on.
Now two of them trying to eliminate Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie fighting his way back in, and he will not go out quietly. Andre fighting off Bam Bam Bigelow. There goes Eddie Guerrero, eliminated by King Kong Bundy.
Well, so much for Latino heat.
Look at the sweat pouring off the British Bulldog. At this point in time, he has been in this match the longest.
Yeah, he's been out there for quite some time. I forget what number he was when he came in, but he's out there for a very long time here. And I got to give credit where it's due. He's fought a very smart match.
Has the Hurricane in a bear hug. Even if he submits, it doesn't matter. Pinfalls do not count. Submissions do not count. Andre on the apron now, coming back in. King Kong Bundy with Mr. Perfect on the apron. Can Bundy eliminate Mr. Perfect? Yes, he can.
Another one falling at the hands of King Kong Bundy. And I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to it. Right now, it looks like we may be cleaning house and getting stuck with Bundy against Andre. Boy, would that be a finish or what?
The Fiend, number 22. Man Bigelow with a press slam on the British Bulldog.
Taking a page right out of the book of the Bulldog. That's a move he has done many times over. Now look at this. The Fiend going to eliminate Andre the Giant. Can he do it?
The Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels at number 23. Andre will not go over the top rope, and now choking out the Fiend.
Shawn Michaels tried for a Hurricane Rana, but that didn't happen. Bundy caught him and just planted him in the ring.
The action hot and heavy, ladies and gentlemen, hard to call. Oh, Wade Barrett in trouble now. King Kong Bundy looking to eliminate one more. Andre has got the Hurricane up, and he's out. And goes right after King Kong Bundy.
Well, the Fiend did the right thing. He saw Andre was busy, focused on King Kong Bundy, and he got a good clothesline in on him.
And now Andre trying to remove Bam Bigelow from the match. Has him on the top rope. Big time Shawn Michaels on the other side. Courtesy of the Bulldog.
Well, both men refused to go out, fighting their way back into the match.
Bray Wyatt now trying to remove the British Bulldog from the Royal Rumble. As we mentioned, the man who's been in there the longest, and he's gone.
I'd be very interested to know how long he lasted, though. The British Bulldog had a heck of a showing. Now look at Andre and Bundy.
Andre the Giant about to eliminate King Kong Bundy. Bundy fighting to stay in. And it looks like Andre, oh, what a shot to the head.
He will not go quietly into that dark night.
DDT. And Bundy now has been busted open.
Well, the two Giants are down. Bam Bigelow's eliminated. So is the Fiend.
Shawn Michaels cleaning house right now. Andre slowly up, and Shawn Michaels made a big mistake, and had Bundy not got involved, that might have been it. We've got the Macho Man Randy Savage entered into the Rumble.
Yeah, with all the chaos going on, we almost missed it.
Bruno Sammartino at number 25. The native of Bruzzi, Italy. Going after Shawn Michaels. He was a world heavyweight champion for 8 years.
Didn't have the Royal Rumble back when he was champion, so here's a great opportunity for him.
King Kong Bundy trying to eliminate the Macho Man Randy Savage. Superstar Billy Graham at number 26. And Bruno has eliminated Andre the Giant.
Well, who else? I mean, realistically, Bruno is one of the strongest men in the history of professional wrestling, and Andre not happy about it at all.
Bruno, the current WWF champion here. And he and superstar Billy Graham locking up. They are no strangers to one another, not even close. Shoulder breaker. Number 27, the Tonga Kid.
Well, it's all about the luck of the draw. This is, of course, there goes Shawn Michaels, courtesy of Bruno Sammartino, and he's really cleaning house right now.
And now Bruno going to see if he can't get rid of Wade Barrett next. Barrett is dangling right now. Wade Barrett, Bruno Sammartino dispatching him left and right.
At this point in time, I'd say King Kong Bundy's been out there the longest now, and here comes Jake the Snake Roberts at number 28.
The luck of the draw definitely plays a major role in the Royal Rumble match, and you see somebody like the Tonga Kid getting a big break with a number like 27.
Yeah, I don't know how big a break it is, though, when you got to go head-to-head with Jake the Snake Roberts.
King Kong Bundy just delivered superstar Billy Graham to the top turnbuckle. Shoulder tackle, and down goes Jake Roberts. Number 29, the Roddy Piper.
Well, there's only one left, and then we're going to know one of these men is going to be the winner of the Royal Rumble.
Piper almost eliminated immediately by the Macho Man. These two men have exchanged the heavyweight championship back and forth a number of times over the last several years.
Well, the Macho Man Randy Savage was the longest reigning heavyweight champion here on the Nation Network for over 2.5 years.
Oh, number 30, Hulkamania.
You've got to be kidding me. He drew number 30.
Oh, now the million-dollar question is, will Hulkamania be running wild? Jake Roberts says, I don't think so. Roberts has got Hogan up. And Hogan has not hit the floor.
The reigning heavyweight champion is in the Royal Rumble right now, going against Jake the Snake Roberts and now superstar Billy Graham.
Talk about dream matches. Hogan against superstar Billy Graham. Billy Graham, indeed, is the inspiration in many ways for Hulk Hogan. He watched this man wrestle during his championship days. King Kong Bundy now and Hulk Hogan, no strangers to one another. Bruno just blindsiding King Kong Bundy.
Well, it almost seems like Bruno's working with Hogan, which is a bad idea, number one, and now look what happens. Hogan doesn't appreciate it and right away turns around and looks to eliminate Bruno Sammartino. Perhaps a little bit of professional jealousy there because he's held that title longer than Hogan.
Sammartino, I don't believe he's jealous at all. It's every man for themselves. You know that as well as everybody that signs up for this. And now the Tonga Kid. Can you imagine if he eliminates Hulk Hogan? Hogan out over the top, hanging on to the bottom rope. King Kong Bundy has been out there for at least 15 minutes now. Which one of these men is going to win the Royal Rumble? And Hogan just got caught in the Hogan and the Macho Man. Talk about rekindling.
Well, I was there when the Mega Powers melted down, and that was a heck of a night.
WrestleMania 5. Indeed, the Mega Powers exploded on that night. Hogan now going to work on the Tonga Kid, and Bruno Sammartino perhaps ready to take out superstar Billy Graham. Jake Roberts eliminated by King Kong Bundy. Superstar Graham and Hulk Hogan. Superstar Billy Graham eliminated Hogan and King Kong Bundy.
Yeah, we're starting to weed them out. Now, here we go. Hogan and Roddy Piper. They started WrestleMania.
And the Macho Man dangling from the top rope, but able to pull himself back into the ring. Irish whip and Bundy. Hogan almost eliminated King Kong Bundy, but couldn't get it done. What a suplex by King Kong Bundy on Hulk Hogan. Again over the rope, and again the shoulder attack of Hulk Hogan does not take him down.
Well, Bruno already eliminated Andre the Giant, so if he goes after Bundy, there's a good chance we could see it. Now Hogan, oh, I thought he was going to go after Bundy. He might not have seen him in that corner. Bundy looks tired out. Now Hogan's going to go for him. Look at this.
Hogan definitely has the power and the strength to get the job done. Roddy Piper and the Tonga Kid, they're no strangers to one another either.
Definitely not after what Piper did to Tonga Kid's cousin, the Superfly Jimmy Snuka.
Hogan on the apron, and Tonga Kid inadvertently saving Hulk Hogan. There goes the Macho Man.
Randy Savage has been eliminated.
King Kong Bundy now coming up on Hulk Hogan in the corner. Big chop, and down goes the champion. Roddy Piper. Oh, I beg your pardon, that's Bruno Sammartino trying to eliminate the Tonga Kid, and now King Kong Bundy's got Piper up. He brings him over, and Piper's eliminated.
We're down to the final four. It's like March Madness, but we're still in January, so you go figure.
Sammartino, look at the power move on Hogan. Bruno Sammartino is cleaning house. Hogan caught him with a big clothesline, and now Hogan needed a midsection on the Tonga Kid. Headbutt. And now Hogan and King Kong Bundy.
Well, I wanted to see Andre the Giant going up against Bundy as the final two, but right now I think I'd be happy with Hogan and Bundy.
And it appears that the champion may have been busted open as well. Hulk Hogan is injured on the apron right now.
Look at King Kong Bundy. He doesn't even know what day it is right now.
Sammartino struggling to stay in the match. The Tonga Kid tries to eliminate him. Meantime, Bundy just cannot be eliminated by Hogan.
Oh, watch out. King Kong Bundy now has got Hogan in the corner. He's going to put him out.
Hogan struggling to stay in the match. Can he do it? Hulk Hogan, the world champion. Big right hand to the head.
King Kong Bundy just keeps coming back with some heavy shots.
Sammartino's got the Tonga Kid. Will he be able to put him over the top with this one? Hangs on to the bottom rope, and now Sammartino tries to push him off the apron.
I got a funny feeling as soon as one guy goes out, we're going to see a lot of them just dropping one after another.
Double noggin knocker courtesy of King Kong Bundy. And a big uppercut by Bruno Sammartino. Hogan is groggy against the ropes, and he's ripe for the pickings, but Sammartino is not focusing on Hulk Hogan. He is focusing on the Tonga Kid. He is focusing on King Kong Bundy,
which I believe is a tremendous mistake to be made.
Hogan with the wind-up. Uppercut, and Bundy goes down. The Tonga Kid and Bruno Sammartino. Look at this. Hogan's got Bruno from behind. Working the head and the neck.
Well, think about it. These are the two champions here right now. You got the WWF champion in Hulk Hogan and the WWF champion in Bruno Sammartino.
Indeed, both men lay claim to a portion of the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, now I'm thinking I wouldn't mind seeing the two of them as the last two in the match.
Tonga Kid has done a heck of a job. Came in at number 27, as I recall. King Kong Bundy takes him out, and now Hogan and Bundy, while Bruno Sammartino is unable to get back up.
Bruno looks worn out, though. Take a look at Bruno Sammartino. He's in tremendous shape.
King Kong Bundy, despite being in there longer than anybody, continues. Back elbow by Hogan off the ropes. And the two champions lock up. Hogan's got Sammartino. And Bruno hanging on to that middle rope. He doesn't want to be eliminated.
Hanging on for dear life, and Hogan trying to push him off the apron. But Bruno's not going to have any of it.
Look at this, the final three as they circle up. Clothesline by Hogan. And now Bundy has the champion up. What's he going to do with him? Head first into the turnbuckle. Sammartino. And now trying to eliminate. Sammartino and Hogan working together. Can King Kong Bundy hang on this time?
I'll be amazed if the two, they can't eliminate him. King Kong Bundy just will not go over.
Bundy has outlasted Andre the Giant. He has outlasted every big man that came along. Jake the Snake Roberts, Barry Windham, Big Daddy Cool Diesel. Hogan with a clothesline in, and down goes Bundy. Oh, he's got him up. Big slam. Hogan to the rope, drops the leg.
Yeah, but that's not a smart move. Yeah, you're doing some damage to Bundy, but you now got dead weight. Even Hulk Hogan's not going to pick up 450 pounds of dead weight.
Sammartino up against the ropes now. Hogan has got Bruno. Oh, look out. Sammartino eliminated now. It has come down to a WrestleMania rematch.
I was right there to call the action in California.
Steel cage match indeed at that time, and now Sammartino watching from outside as Hogan and Bundy lock up. King Kong Bundy bringing Hogan all the way over to the rope. Oh, big back elbow. Bundy going over the top, and he's eliminated.
Are you kidding me?
What a match. What a Royal Rumble.
Oh, I think this whole thing stinks.
The World Heavyweight Champion victorious here at the Royal Rumble. Ladies and gentlemen, stick around. WrestleChat will be up in just a moment. Don't go anywhere.
So my entire life, I knew that I always wanted to be able to give back and help others, especially financially, because that's something that I never really had. And around the same time that I found Camper, I got my first big YouTube paycheck of $7,000. So I decided at that point I would start Camper Cares, a charity project inspired by Camper to help animals, families, and fosters. And so Camper Cares was born, and every month since we have been donating a part of our ad revenue to animals, families, and fosters in need. Today, we are at Underdog Rescue in Moab. Underdog services the Four Corners area in Navajo Nation. It is a really special area that needs constant help and attention. Recently, the median household income here is $20,000. unemployment rate is near 50%, and around 1/3 of the homes don't even have running water or electricity. Not only that, there are stray dogs everywhere. Just in Navajo Nation, there are 250,000 stray dogs. And in the Four Corners area, around 500,000 stray animals. The worst part is the life expectancy of a res dog is only 2 years old due to the lack of food and water, the harsh elements, predators, and life-threatening injuries. So I am so thankful for rescues like Underdog, especially because there are 4 other shelters in this region, but they are high kill shelters, and 93% of those animals in there are killed. Not to mention, there are only 2 vets serving the entire Navajo Nation. This area needs our help. I am so thankful for rescues like Underdog, who are doing such amazing and important work. They really, truly deserve it all. And thank you so much to all of you for making this possible and for making my dreams come true. And just by watching, making a dent in this big problem.
All right, well, Camper got a hold of my credit card last night. You want to show him what we got him? We got you guys. I'm so excited. 1,000 pounds of dog food. Except one catch. You guys got to help me on that. 1,000 pounds of dog food will last this rescue about 1 month. So let's just say we need a lot more. So if you want to help, I'm going to put some information in the description with an address where you can send it or a link where you can just get it on Amazon. But at least we got a month down. All loaded up.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Nation Network. We're going to do some WrestleChat here today. It's on OBS, so I can't bring anybody in live like I would normally do, but... Oh, well, thank you guys for being here. It was fun. Kind of thought it was interesting the way that one all played out. Hope nobody lost too much money. I wanted it to be for the title. The idea was going to be it was the championship match and the champion automatically draws number 30. I could not. I thought you could make a title match in the Rumble. Am I wrong? Is 2K23 not able to do that? Or did I just miss something? Or maybe you have to do it as a custom match? I don't know. But using the standard match, it wouldn't give you a title option, which in the past I know you could do it in, I just don't remember what game. So that was my original plan. They took it out. Well, of course they took it out. Why wouldn't they? 2K, man. What's the point anymore? It's just no point. They don't give a shit. They are not getting my money this year. And the early, 2K22 had it. There you go. Well, I'm not going crazy anyway. Nothing official, but relatively responsible sources have got some early information. Nothing grandioso or anything like that. But so far it sounds like 2K24 is just going to be a reskin of 23. So I'm happy I'm not doing it. They say basically that they're not adding anything big like they did with GM mode and they did with the War Games match. So no big additions. They're just going to... Now the $1 million question is, okay, are you going to fix all the shit that you broke? Is Universe going to have intros or at least have a toggle on and off option? Because not everybody liked intros. I don't know why you wouldn't, but okay. So will intros be back? Will Hogan's hair still be in the game, or is that going to disappear every time you get a patch? Things like that. We want to know. We'd like to know. More slots. Dude, we've been asking for that for, 10 years now. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. Couple of things I do want to talk about, and feel free to chat along here in the chat comments section. Let's start off by talking about, I guess we'll work our way up to it. So I've had an incredibly busy 2 weeks. I've worked 13 out of 14 days. Finally have a day off yesterday and today, and I'm still trying to get my sleep back in rhythm. I've been waking up at weird hours because I had to be up so friggin' early. And not much rest for the weary because this Thursday, TNA Impact Wrestling moves in, sets up their ring, and then they'll be doing TV tapings on Friday and Saturday. So that's going to be crazy time again. But fun, but long days for me. Talk about a paid day off. I get to get paid to hang out at a wrestling match. Not a problem. So I'll be there for that. Speaking of which, I did drop the $40 for the pay-per-view simply because I knew it was going to be a history-making one, and it was. I didn't really care for many of the matches, if I'm being honest. I blame it mostly on the crowd. I really just... There are some cities that I just say, don't do a pay-per-view there. Which, granted, means that the only place you're going to do a pay-per-view is in Chicago, but you want a crowd that's going to be into it. And Vegas sucked. They had a huge crowd, by the way. The biggest crowd they've had in 7 years. Had to be at least 2,000 is my guess from the way it looked on TV. By the way, AEW, learn, okay? They picked the right size building so they could have a full house, and it looked great on TV. As opposed to a whole bunch of empty seats that you can't fill. That's a whole other animal. If you didn't watch Impact TNA last weekend, I think it was Sunday? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Sunday. Then, yeah, a couple of big things happened. So Trinity loses the women's title. No big surprise because she's going to end up showing up where? The Ladies Royal Rumble. That's going to happen. In attendance, in a dark balcony, watching the night, Sasha Banks and Bayley. I'm telling you right now, I'm very excited for the Royal Rumble this year because I think there's going to be a lot of surprises. I will be shocked, absolutely shocked, if Sasha doesn't return at the Rumble. And disappointed. For me, it's going to just be like, that sucks. No matter who wins, no matter what happens, if Sasha's not there, it's just going to be a major letdown for me. I would hate the idea of her going to AEW. I'd hate it because they suck. And they're just going to do nothing with her, and she's going to waste years of her career there and maybe get injured. So I hope she ends up going back to WWE. I'm almost positive she is. The fact that she's hanging out with Bayley, they were there to support Trin. I get it. Trinity loses because her contract's up with them and she's leaving. There's that. They bring in Dana Brooke. And I think Tony Khan might be doing the booking for Dana Brooke in Impact because they're calling her Ash of Excellence. ASH, Ash, short for Ashley, I'm guessing. Ash of Excellence. Such a stupid name that the broadcast team couldn't get it right twice. Bad sign. And she's got kind of a... I mean, she sat ringside. She didn't get in the ring or do anything, so she shows up with like a valet dude, some little wormy guy. And she's got the long blonde hair with the tight curls going on and kind of reminiscent of Jade Cargill a little bit. Not so much her mannerisms, but her look. I was just hoping to God they were just going to let her friggin' keep her real name and let her do what she does because she was doing so well in the WWE when they cut her loose. But don't get her all gimmicked up and have it take away from the actual performer. Freddie's on board with me as well. So she made her appearance there. Top Dollar showed up. AJ, I forget his last name. And I'll tell you, AJ was likable back when he was doing the hunting for the lost artifacts of professional wrestling that first season. I thought he was really likable, and that's before we really saw him. I think it was during COVID times or soon after, so he didn't get to do much so far as wrestling in NXT yet. We really got introduced to him through that program. He definitely knows wrestling. and seems like an okay dude. I mean, I can't say much for his in-ring work, so I really didn't see a lot of him. I was never a fan of the whole program that they put him into, and yeah, none of that worked for me. B-Fab, and no thanks. AJ Francis, thank you very much. My well-versed audience out there to help my family memory moments. So anyway, he showed up. Again, that's not something I'm going to sit around and say, okay, that's going to put them over the top now. I'm still not a fan of the idea of going back to TNA. I think there's too many bad memories, for me anyway, associated with that, most of which are tied to Dixie Carter. But TNA crashed and burned and pretty much died. I mean, they've been trying to resurrect Impact for how long? And they're starting to they had a year and a half ago, they were so tight, man. They just had everything clicking. They had a great roster. They still have a solid roster. I'm just not, and again, I think a lot of it's these crowds that they're playing to. Some of these crowds just aren't into it at all. I hope it's not like that out here. We had a decent crowd the last couple times they've been here. So far as they're vocal and they're into it, we'll see. Now to announce that we have the biggest signing, one of the biggest signings in the company's history. In my mind, I couldn't expect it to be anyone other than Goldberg. Now, do I think Goldberg is that guy anymore? No, of course not. But for them, that's kind of their MO. They signed Kurt Angle when he's at the end of his career, but still has a year or two left on him. They signed Hulk Hogan when he has like 2 matches left on him. And I felt like Goldberg is a big name. He is a marquee. He's an attraction. And with the schedule they have, you can get a year out of him. There's no secret. I friggin' love Nick Nemeth. I have been screaming for 10 years, who the fuck is booking this guy and why the hell are they not giving him title runs and opportunities? The fans like him, and he's the most company guy you'll ever have. He's like, I don't care, just pay me. It bothered me more than it bothered him, that's for damn sure. So he comes out at the very end, Nick Nemeth, and goes head-to-head with Moose, who wins the championship. Takes that away from Alex Shelley. Again, here's where Impact, for me, struggles. Moose is your homegrown talent. And so is Alex Shelley. I'll give you that, okay? And before Alex Shelley, we had the walking weapon. So your last couple of world champions have generally been your guys. I got that. And I'm glad Shelley had a run with the title simply because he's been TNA so long. I mean, yeah, he's taken steps away, gone to Japan or wherever else. But he's closely associated with TNA wrestling and Impact Wrestling. So the fact that he got a world title run, I'm happy for that. And I get with Josh Alexander, you had to give him a shot too because he is legit. But I just feel like Moose should have been a long-running world champion for them. This guy's a freak of nature. He's damn near 7 feet tall. He'll run towards a turnbuckle and climb it in 2 steps, turn around, come off with a cross body press at near 300 pounds. I mean, this shit doesn't happen. He is amazing. And he's a beast, and he's believable. Now that you put the belt on him and Nemeth comes out, now we have 2 choices to go here. Do you give the Trinity effect and give Nemeth the belt in the first month or 2 that he's there? In which case you further, devalue Moose as a champion because he can't hold the belt for more than 2 or 3 months. That's been the MO. Or do you go with the home field advantage and keep Moose the champion and have him beat Nemeth? In which case, why'd you bring him in just to do the same damn thing WWE did with him? So, to me, it's a no-win situation for them. If I'm booking for them right now, I'm looking at this as a no-win situation. And I don't even know how I feel. It's like part of me definitely wants Nemeth to get the world title and have a great run, couple of years, maybe become the longest reigning. I don't care. He's a guy that can do it. On the microphone, he can do it in the ring. Again, they have a very friendly schedule. You're not wrestling 5-6 days a week. So that'll help him heal up. I'm glad I don't have to make these decisions, but that's where that's at. That brings us to the big one, the Royal Rumble. I already talked about the women's. Sasha has to be there for me. Otherwise, it's just, man, it's going to be deflating. To me, it's going to be deflating. Sasha has to show up. Jade Cargill, pretty sure she's going to show up in the Rumble. My Rumble that I did yesterday, I feel like mine were predicted based on what I think is going to happen. I think you're going to see what's her name? Carmella. I think she makes her return. You know, she's been done with maternity a few months now, right? So I can see her showing up. That would be a big pop. I'll be also shocked if AJ Lee doesn't show up. Now, I don't know that AJ Lee's going to come back and do any kind of program at all. I almost hope she doesn't because she's been injured in the past. But I would love to see her come out and get the little theme song to play again, do her little skip down the aisle, get in the ring, eliminate a few, safely go out over the top into the floor, and she could show up in Punk's corner or during a Punk match at some point in time. But my hope is that, she's there for the night and gets a good opportunity. I would not be shocked to see Lacey Green come back for one night only. I put her into mine because I think that that's a possibility, strong possibility. They don't need her. They have enough women. But I don't know. Maybe I just want to see her there. The one thing I booked, which I would love to see them do, but they're not going to, because here's the thing. I forget this other guy's YouTube channel. I'm sure some of you guys have seen this dude. He's got more patience than I do. He will edit the video game with cuts and everything. I mean, anyway, he did a Royal Rumble, how it should be booked. So if you do a search for how this year's Royal Rumble should be booked, you'll probably find his video. And he had some really good ideas in this thing, much better than anything WWE's coming up with. And he normally does. I mean, he does a lot of these types of videos, and they're all pretty solid storytelling. And he's got Bayley winning the whole thing and also turning on Damage Control to get it done. I don't see that happening on either of those fronts. I don't see Bayley winning, and I don't see Damage Control breaking up until Mania. I think it happens at Mania. Yeah, AJ, my understanding is she's no longer associated with Women of Wrestling. But that's not from any official sources or anything, just the cheat sheets, dirt sheets, and stuff that I've read online. But I would like to see her come back. So anyway, what I booked in mine is having Izzy Moreno come up. If anyone doesn't know who Izzy is right now, she's a 16-year-old girl. She's been wrestling professionally now for the last probably 3 or 4, maybe 5 months. Been training for years. Just graduated high school early. Just got her driver's license or a permit, whichever it is. And she's having good matches. I mean, barring injuries, God forbid, this kid's going to be solid. She's having really good matches already on the independents. And she was the Bayley superfan in NXT. The girl that would always dress like Bayley and sit in the front row with her dad. The one that Sasha made cry in that big pay-per-view match. So, yeah, and she dresses like Bayley back in the day with all the purple and the gold and the spandex and the whole thing and the ponytail. She's basically a Bayley superfan, right? So you put her into the Ladies' Rumble. Will everybody know who she is immediately? No, but I think a lot of people will. And you want Bayley to be the heel still, right? Because people are starting to like Bayley again. I've never been able to accept her as a heel, okay? I just can't. That said, Bayley's in trouble, and she's about to be eliminated, and all of a sudden, here comes entrant number whichever, and it's Izzy Moreno to the rescue to save her hero. The girl, the lady that she watches, a little girl growing up, dressing like her, jacket, headband, the whole 9 yards, super fan, right? Comes in, saves her. The two of them work together for a few minutes. And then Bayley attacks her from behind and beats up the little kid, the 16-year-old girl, beats her down, and throws her out over the top rope. You know what they say, never meet your heroes because you end up being disappointed. That's what I would do in that scenario. I'll be shocked to hell if the WWE does anything remotely close to that, but I like it. I think it works. And it definitely gets Bayley a new level of heat. And who knows? I mean, you can look at this. When I look at Izzy, if they did do that, you can say, well, she's 16. She ain't ready for the big spotlight and all that stuff yet. Well, you would probably start with the spotlight of NXT if you did bring her in this early. And while I would normally say no to that, it's too early, I said the same thing to Dom. He was too young for the big spotlight. He really needed to go down and do some time in the indies and do some time. Guess I didn't know what I was talking about, because when you're that good, it just doesn't matter. The age thing isn't such a factor when you're that good. She's that good. And she's not terrible on the microphone, Jim. That's something that she's going to need to work on a little bit more. But, again, she's 16. It's going to happen. But I think a program around her and Bayley could definitely work. And at some point in time, she doesn't have to be on weekly television even. But she could come out during Mania, let's say, and cost Bayley her match somehow. Or maybe we go a different direction, because we know that Damage Control is going to turn on Bayley someday soon. And all of a sudden they're beating her down, and who comes to the rescue but Izzy Moreno? Boom. So however you want to work it, I just think that's a good one to work in, even for a short period of time. We'll see. I am actually excited for the Rumble this year. I usually look forward to it, but I'm really looking forward to this one. That brings us to the men's Rumble. Well, we know CM Punk. We know Cody's going to be up and in there. If you watched what mine did, holy shit. That is not what I planned to see happen at all, not even remotely close. But I can book my way out of it. I don't want to spoil it in case you haven't watched it already. I'll just say somebody went a long way to win the Rumble. And it was all simmed. Everything I've been doing lately is simmed. I think I played one match. And I don't even remember which show it was on, to be honest with you. But it was literally just one match that I actually participated in. Other than that, they've all been simmed. I'm just again, we're in that retro thing where I'm just kind of goofing around now. I'm not doing the storylines. I'm kind of just letting them play themselves out. So the fact that it went the way it did isn't terrible. I can still work with that. Yeah, Jay, I agree with you. This year is solid stuff going on right now. So back to where I was at with the men's. We got CM Punk and Cody. They're trying to say that Seth injured his leg last night at the end of Raw. I think it's a work, though. Has anyone heard anything? Because I haven't. I've looked everywhere to see if there's any kind of actual medical report that he's going to have to give up the title or that he tore his meniscus or something like that. He came off with that Jericho-esque moonsault off the middle rope, I believe it was. Might have been the top rope. Did the moonsault. Landed it pretty good from what I could see. Now, that said, you can screw up a knee real easy doing any of that kind of shit. So it's possible that he hyperextended it or something on the way down. How do I like it? I guess I kind of like it in the sense that when I was playing matches, or if I still have to play a match for any reason, but again, since I'm not really running storylines, I don't have to. Like what happened with the Big Boss Man and Danny Davis. I've been wanting to use that arena for almost a year now and just couldn't find a reason to do it. And then based on what happened in that match, I was like, oh, that works. We got Rumble coming up. Boss Man's pissed. Throw him in the cage. But the best thing is it helps free me up because I got like 2 screens going here and I got to queue up the commercial breaks. I'll say one thing about 2K18. Damn takes, even if it's a 1 versus 1 and they're both in-game content characters, it takes a minute for the game to load and the match to be ready to start. Whereas 2K22, 2K23, generally speaking, 30 to 40 seconds. And you're up and running. So I've got most of my commercial breaks set at anywhere from, I got a couple that are like 30 seconds to 1 minute. And then we've got the longest one is the most recent one I did for Camper Cares, which, by the way, the description for all that stuff is in the box down below. The reason I love it, first off, she's really cool, and I've been watching her videos for a while. Travels the country living out of a van now. Used to be a Prius. Go figure how you do that shit. And she's a big animal rights person, especially with dogs. She loves dogs. Who doesn't? And this place out in the middle of Utah, they've got an enormous population of stray dogs that they take in, and they do not euthanize. So I'm not a big fan of giving to any charities anymore because, unfortunately, you just can't trust them. You hear too much of the time where 80% of the money that they receive goes to people's paychecks, and 20% goes to the actual thing. They've been raising money for St. Jude's, and I'm not, again, St. Jude's does great work. I will not knock them. I'm just saying, for the amount of money they've been raising, for the number of years they've been raising, how we ain't got a cure for cancer yet? I don't get it. It just seems like a lot of money is being funneled in, but we're not getting results. Well, what I like about this one here is the address is right there. Just plug it in to your Amazon, and that's what I do. Once a month, I send a bag of dog food. She added some stuff that she's recommended if you go to the links on her channel. It's expensive dog food. That girl's got expensive taste in dog food, okay? It's like $40 for a bag. And I'm like, yeah, it's a little bit more than I'm going to do right now. But I get them, I think, what do I do, 20-pound bags? I think I got 20-pound bags for about $17. I'm a pedigree fan. My dogs love it. They've eaten it for 15 years now and never had a problem, knock on wood. So I'll send a bag of that once a month and know that it's going to the dogs. I mean, I'm pretty sure the people working there aren't going to eat it. And I know it helps them out because the money they would have spent on food, if everybody sends them a 20-pound bag of food, then they can pay their electricity bills much easier. They can pay for whatever else, vet bills or whatever else stuff they got. So in that way, I feel confident that I know where the money's going because I am sending the product there. Anyway, if you feel so compelled and if you have the means, I would appreciate it. They will appreciate it. More importantly, the dogs will appreciate it. Back to the Rumble talk. So asking me if I like simming more, yeah, because it allows me to focus on the production part more. I can look at comments more. I can look at which commercial break or whatever, bumpers coming up next. If you guys have seen, it's happened a couple times in the last few streams where you'll see one commercial but hear another one playing behind it. It's because I was so tied up with what was going on in the game that I didn't have time to carefully look and scroll down to make sure the other ones were turned off. So while I brought up the one that I wanted, I didn't turn off the previous one necessarily, and now you have that clash of the two of them running at the same time. So there's that. Yeah, I've been spending a ton of time with 2K18, I know that. But that's because I've been enjoying it more. I'll be going back to 19, 17, 16, all of them here in the near future. But right now, yeah, I'm spending a lot of time on 2K18. I've probably added 5 or 6 more wrestlers, and I'm really happy with the way I've been able to, because if I can't make an event look right, like, because I can't import logos or anything anymore, that's all done, right? The servers are shut down. So if I can't make it look the way I want it to look, then I'm not doing it. If you saw the AWA one that we did last week, I managed to make what I feel is a pretty good replica of the AWA logo. And did it all using, obviously, the in-game content. So it's forcing me to come up with new solutions. And I'm liking the fact that I'm coming up with, hey, if I do this and I do that and I layer this, and you can only do, I think, 16 layers, but then you take that 16-layer image that you created and then import that into a new image and then keep building on it. So at the end of the day, it would be like the same as if they gave you 32 or 40 layers. You're just doing it in increments. So I enjoyed the fact that I was able to make the AWA arena look reasonable, and for that reason, yeah, we added the AWA and some roster, and the roster has grown. You just haven't seen it yet. Do I think The Rock is going to be in the Rumble? No. I don't think he's going to be in the Rumble. I think he's going to be in Australia. Not sure how that plays out. Here's my concern. When he came out and cut his promo, my first thought was, oh, my God, he's going to fuck up Mania. Because that has to be Cody. Cody has to redeem himself against Roman, which means Cody has to win the Rumble. CM Punk, since you can't both win the Rumble, can go after Seth Rollins and the WWE, what is it called? The World Championship, right? As opposed to the Universal blah, blah, blah title that we never defend. Come along, what's up? So I don't think The Rock does the Rumble. I think, and now that they made it a fatal four-way, just to guarantee that Roman's not going to drop the belt. Yeah, I think he and The Rock will have the battle in Australia because they need that kind of a marquee thing just because it's their first time doing a pay-per-view in Australia. Obviously, The Rock's not going to win the belt. By the way, anybody think it's a coincidence that they bring back Nia Jax and all of a sudden The Rock's back around again? You don't think that's a quid quo pro? As soon as they brought her back, first thought in my mind was, frig, Dwayne's coming back. And lo and behold, there he is. Yeah, it's we're even going to, like right now, it topped out today at like 71 degrees here in Florida. But tonight, it's going to dip down probably 38 degrees, which it's Florida. Give me a friggin' break. We don't get too many of them days. And then tomorrow's going to top out at 56. We just had 2 weeks of, if anyone's a car guy out there, you'll know. It's called Mecum Auto Auctions. It's a world-renowned auto auction. They kind of travel the United States, usually going to places like Vegas and Glendale, Arizona, the big places like that. But we are their Super Bowl show every year because this is the largest show. They did 4,400 cars in 13 days. They sold one car alone in front of me for $4 million. I got that on video. And then one later that night for, I want to say, $17 million. So they sell a lot of cars over 13 days, and they make a lot of millions of dollars doing it. And this is the first year. It's my third year of doing Mecum's. First year where damn near every day the weather was horrible. It was cold. It's raining. It's dreary. The place was a mud bowl, man. It was like friggin', what the hell was that damn concert back in the 60s? Dadgum, I'm trying to blank on the name of it. Hey, everybody knows the concert back in the 60s. Brock coming back to put over Gunther at WrestleMania. I had Brock and Gunther have a little moment of mine, again, simmed out, and it just worked out that way. And I was like, yeah, that's a match that I would not mind seeing. That would be a good match. And it would be good for Brock, obviously, to do that. But at the same time, if not Brock, who's ever going to take the Intercontinental title off of the guy? Woodstock, thank you. That would have only pissed me off forever. Yeah, that was kind of the way the entire property was. It was just mud. And most of us have golf carts. You couldn't drive off-road anywhere. And it's kind of hard not to do our job right and not drive off-road because it's covering 300 acres. So it was just a complete shit show. All based on the weather. Nothing to do with Mecum. They run a tight show, and if very professional in everything they do. We're professional in what we do. But the weather gods were having nothing to do with us, man. They just crap. We had a production meeting days before the event, and one of the thoughts, the conversations that came up is, what are we going to do with weather? And this is like a couple days before, but even then, you only knew about the first few days. And I'm like, guys, this is the third year, and in the last 2 years, we've had maybe one bad day each year out of 13 days. And, man, I shouldn't have said nothing, because this time around, it was like 11 bad days of weather. No exaggeration. If it wasn't raining, it was windy as a son of a bitch, and cold. Well, Roman is going to lose his belt soon at WrestleMania. That's not that far away. He's not going to lose it at Rumble. He's not going to lose it in Australia, but he's going to lose it at Mania. Long overdue. Should have lost it by now. So, speaking of Meekum, if you haven't seen already, you can check out the community tab on my channel. One of my coworkers driving by said, "Hey, you just missed it." "What?" "Hulk Hogan's over at the event center." I was like, yeah, that makes sense. He lives in Florida, and he's a car guy. So I head over to the event center to see if he's still hanging around, and sure as heck, there he is, looking at cars. He's got a small group of guys around him from the Meekum auction. Nobody's really approaching him. You could get the vibe, though, that he didn't really want to be bothered. But it was sad to me. I mean, I got really close. I took a picture. I posted it up there. But I wasn't, like, sticking a camera in his face. I did it kind of off to the side so it wouldn't be like... And I didn't see anyone else doing it either, but I was only around him for 10 minutes, so... But the sad thing was watching him walk. I mean, he can barely walk at this point. It's so... He's bent over. He can't straighten up. He's got that big stick like Gandalf walking around. I just feel terrible that, you know, for everything he did in wrestling for all those years, and now, you know, you're going to go down the last years of your life in this kind of condition. So it was tough to see that, but it was good to see Hogan anyway. One guy was there next to me and realized, oh my God, that's Hulk Hogan. He said, "Hey, Hulkster, Hulkster," and Hogan's just completely ignoring him, which is kind of that clue, like, leave him the fuck alone. I mean, he goes to the beach shop enough. He's got a store. I think it's called Hogan's Hangout or something. No, that's the bar. Beach Shop, I believe, is the store here in Orlando over on International Drive. And he'll be there once a month, I guess, doing autographs and stuff like that. You want to go and share your past stories with him and all that, that's where you go do that. Meantime, he's kind of hanging out, looking at cars, leave him alone. I didn't see Nick. I thought Nick was with him, but it wasn't Nick. So it was just him and, like I said, a couple of Meekum guys and maybe a couple of friends of his. I don't know who the other guys were. I just figured, well, seeing Hogan on what day of the week would that have been? Saturday. And then TNA will be here Friday and Saturday all day. So going to have a full week of professional wrestlers in my world. Not a bad week to have. About Hogan helping the person that was in a car wreck. No. Did Nick cause the car wreck? I wonder how he was able to help. I mean, I'm serious, guys. Watching him walk, I was in pain watching him walk. He was taking very small steps. I mean, he wasn't walking anything remotely normal. And if you remember, the last time he was at Mania, he only went out on the stage, and that was it. And part of it is because he's so limited in distance right now, it seems. They were taking him around from everything on golf carts. So they brought him over to the building in a golf cart. He got out, walked around, looked at the cars, got back in the golf cart, brought him to wherever it was next. I don't think you're going to be able to put a link up in the chat, Retro. But you can send it to me, and I'll take a look at it. Send it to me over on, whatchamacallit, Twitter X. I'm never going to refer to it as X. I think it's stupid. All right, yeah, I'll check that out. All right, well, listen, guys. That's kind of where I'm at. Cody's going to win for the guys. And I'm trying to figure out what's going to happen with Punk. Because, first we have to find out, is Seth Rollins really legitimately hurt or is it a work? I'm saying it looked like a work to me. So let's assume Seth is not injured from that angle. I mean, I'm sure his body's beat up just because he's been wrestling so many friggin' days. And let's face it, none of us getting any younger. So from that standpoint, I can see him and Punk at Mania. Punk takes that title. I mean, if he's going to give it up, he's had it for almost a year. Not a bad time to give it up. And not a bad guy to give it up to. And then he can ride off into the sunset for a while and then make a surprise appearance at next year's Rumble after we haven't seen him for 9 months. But I see, like, him and Punk maybe eliminating each other, kind of getting tied up with one another against the ropes, and then somebody comes from behind and dumps them both over, and they blame each other for it. Or maybe Punk eliminates him, and then he reaches up and pulls Punk out. Something like that. Yeah, Jay, my logic is if it was an actual leg injury, there would already be news posted on the official Twitter account. They've done that in the past with legit injuries. So, and it just didn't look to me like, and again, we've seen, I mean, fucking Vince McMahon walks in and goes under the bottom rope and blows out both quads. Shit happens. But it just didn't look like something that would have caused a legit knee injury. And hasn't he been selling a bad knee for several weeks now? But we'll all find out soon enough. So Cody wins. Punk ends up, one way or another, getting set up with Seth for the title match at Mania. Heck, they might even have a title match in Australia, and something goes wrong there that escalates it to Mania. Maybe it'll be a cage match or something like that. The women's match, man, I honestly just, I can't think. I'm afraid it's going to be Nia Jax. Because whether you want Rhea Ripley to be a heel or not, the fans love her. She gets cheered. She's part of a heel faction. She's a leader of arguably a leader of a heel faction, and the fans love her. So if that's going to be the case, then you got to put her with somebody the fans hate. And who do they hate in the women's division as much as Dominic Mysterio? Nia Jax. Nia, who's come back and just beaten everybody up, legit squashed people in the first week she came back because she still can't do shit right in the ring. Yeah, I hope I'm wrong. I'm picking Nia Jax to win, though. And I know it would be fast track if it were Sasha that came back, but I would really like it to be Sasha that came back and won it. And at the same point in time, I see, all right, so let's go down the different options of what could happen with Sasha coming back. Sasha comes back in the Rumble and ends up getting jumped by 2 or 3 Damage Control girls and thrown out. Now she's pissed at Damage Control. Damage Control turns on Bayley. Bayley needs help. Who comes to her aid? Her old buddy Sasha. So now you got 2 of the 4 horsewomen back together again. They were always a solid team together. Fans love them together. Bayley's back in babyface mode. And you have a feud that can last 6 months easily, if booked properly. The reason I don't think it's going to be Becky, and I didn't get to watch the promo. I was watching Raw this morning, and when it got to the promo between her and Rhea, my dog decided he was going to start regurgitating, so I had to rush him outside so he could do it out in the lawn. And I just didn't rewind it to watch it, and I was like, fuck it, whatever. But I know they just did a promo spot, and are they going to have a title match like at Rumble or something, or Australia? What came of that promo? And by the way, don't say that they can't put Nia Jax in a title match, because that might be part of the negotiating and getting The Rock to show up. There's no way in the world you're going to tell me they happen to bring Nia Jax back, and then a week or two later or a month later, The Rock shows up. I'll give credit where it's due. I mean, I am so over Dwayne Johnson, the human being, over his recent events in the last few months. You judge a person by the company they keep. So if you think Oprah's a good person to be associated with, that says more about you. That said, the promo was pretty good. I didn't see where he was going with it, and I really thought he was just there for a one-off because it was in California. And sure, I didn't think he was setting up a return. And then he talked about going out to the restaurant. I thought he was going to bring up a pie reference. I thought he was going to say, should The Rock have some pie? That's what I was expecting. Then he's like, should he sit at the bar? Should he sit at a booth? Or should he sit at the head of the table? I'm like, ooh, that was good. That was good. You got me. Jay, I disagree with you. Nia in a title match with anyone besides Rhea Ripley would go over like a fart in church. The fans, I mean, let's be honest. If that match happens, we're already rooting for Ripley no matter who she goes up against, right? But don't you really want to see Rhea accidentally catch her with a blind elbow right to the face and bust her up? I sure do. M. Hawk. So that was the promo, was Becky and Rhea for Mania? All right, well, if that's the case, well, how can that be the case? Because you have to win the Rumble. So if Becky wins, then, of course, that can happen. But what happens if she doesn't? So, again, I wouldn't mind seeing that match for the sole reason. Hello, I'm Hawk. I wouldn't mind seeing it for the sole reason that I would want to see Rhea Ripley legitimately hit her. By accident, of course. Totally accidental. But that girl's got a list of receipts that are due, and somebody better pay up on them. All I know is if Sasha's not there, we riot. You notice that nobody's talking about AEW and Sasha Banks anymore. That got quiet real quick. And then Sasha's over there with Bayley, with Trinity over at Impact. Excuse me, TNA. Sasha posted a picture, what was it, a week or so ago, from outside of the arena WWE was at. Damn it, man. Now I wish I would have watched it. I wish I would have replayed that thing when I got back in. I just figured, whatever it is, I'll see it. I'm watching less and less of today's product because it's like, all right, just watch the PLEs because they do a really great job of putting their little capsules together of what led to the match. And the capsules are edited so that even if it was a botch fest match, it looks like a 5-star classic. Yeah, Freddie, very possibly so. I'm happy that she didn't because, again, if she got injured over in Japan, just saying, The track record in AEW is a whole lot worse. Yeah, that's what I was figuring, M-Hawk. I'd catch it on YouTube, but it hasn't, like, popped up where normally a lot of those things pop up for me. So I'm going to have to go on to the WWE page and find it myself. All right, boys and girls, children of all ages. I have a new 2K reveal coming up. I haven't posted it yet. It'll be a premiere event. Just so everybody knows, I try to schedule premieres when I think I might be able to be on. Sometimes it doesn't work that way, so don't feel like I'm just, like, blowing you off. I try to get there when I can. This last one, I was there for, like, the opening moments and literally just fell asleep because I was exhausted. I know I've got one coming up on Friday. We've got the title match for the World Class Championship Wrestling, the return match, and that'll be at 11 a.m. on Friday. I think I'll be able to be on for that. I'll have it on in the background while I'm at work doing my other stuff. Unless something at work changes, and that's the whole thing. Especially on Friday, we got Impact coming in. Speaking of which, where's Infrared, man? We supposed to get together and do beers. I gotta try. Infrared, if you're watching this thing later on, or even now, you could be on, just not commenting. But, yeah, man, hit me up. Let's, we'll go over to Miller's Ale House down the street and grab a beer and maybe a hamburger or something earlier on. Yeah, it would be interesting to see her and Bailey, or her and Naomi back together as a tag team since they never lost the titles. Who's got the belts now? I know that Chelsea and Piper just dropped them recently to... Yeah, I can't tell you. Like I said, I fast forward probably 85% now. I'll stop for a promo or two. I don't watch the matches hardly at all. I've been just binging the WCCW and the old World Class World Class Wrestling with Tony Schiavone and them. Caden and Katana, really? I thought they already had them. They got them back, in other words? Okay. Yeah. That'll be an interesting matchup, I suppose, if they still hold on to the belts long enough. That could be a Mania match. Like I said, if all these people show up that I think are going to show up, who else did I pick? I said Carmella, Alexa Bliss. I think she makes a return. There was somebody else. I don't remember now. But those are two of the big names that are technically on the roster that have been out for maternity, and I feel like it's been long enough where they could make their return back. I mean, Alexa Bliss, I'm trying to remember. She had the kid, right? I'm not going crazy. No, okay, I'm not going crazy. Yeah, based on the amount, because the baby's like probably 3 months old at least by now, I think, if my math isn't completely whacked out. One of the things I almost booked in my men's rumble for the current day roster is I was going to bring in Uncle Howdy. And then I'm like, okay, where am I going to go with it? I had a couple of ideas, but then I'd have to go back to like actually cutting video together and I'm not doing that anymore. So I decided to let it go. But I was going to do something with Uncle Howdy coming back, and then he would end up joining up with Alexa Bliss in weeks to come. And kind of channeling the Fiend. Which I think if you had Bo Rotundo playing Uncle Howdy, you can do that, and it's still respectful, and it helps the Fiend image and memory continue on, which I think is kind of a cool way of paying homage to him. All right, boys and girls, I'm going to call it a day. Like I said, we got stuff coming up, and another 2K18 surprise. You have to tune in to find out. And then we're going to be doing some more Name Those Cause, because I'm having fun with that. Stumped a few of you guys. On the ones that I didn't think I'd be able to stump you on, I've stumped you on them. I've got a couple now that I'm like, yeah, I'll be amazed if they get these. And every time I think I got the one that you're not going to get, you nail that one. And then all of a sudden, I come up with one that I figure is just a lay-down easy one. And, yeah, that's the one that ends up stumping you. So, indeed, Jay. Everybody have a safe rest of your night. If I can, I might do a watch-along for the Rumble. I'm not sure if I'll be able to pull that off based on my schedule, but if I can, I'll do it, and then we can watch it together. So I'll be in touch one way or another. We got some videos that are being posted that'll be playing throughout the week, because I know my schedule's going to be wacky for the next month or two, and I'm trying to get at least 2 or 3 days of stuff up there to keep the channel moving along. So I appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Share it with your friends. And I'll see you again, if not sooner, than at the Rumble. Actually, we'll probably do something on Friday. Oh, shoot. The Rumble is Saturday, isn't it? Oh, that sucks. Because that's night 2 of Impact TNA. Dadgummit. I knew something was going to mess me up. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. But I'll probably do some little live remote from the TNA, and we'll go from there. So stay safe. Have a great night. And I'll talk to you real soon from ringside. So long, everyone.